Okay, so Realme just launched the brand new Narzo 50, and I actually think that this is one of the best phones you can buy for its price, and that is 13,000 rupees in India, and you can also find it in the US for about $226. By the way, thank you to everybody in India watching these videos, and thanks for your support. So let's talk about what this phone offers for the price. Beginning by the battery, we actually have a 5,000 milliamp battery with a fast charge of 33 watts, which is actually not that common in this price range. It also has 128 gigs of internal storage, but there's also a version of 64 gigs. You can also find it in 6 or 4 gigs of RAM. This version is actually 4 gigs. The storage is also expandable through micro SD, but you can also have it with 2 lines using double SIM cards. Now the processor, it's a Helios G96 by MediaTek, which its main purpose is to be used for gaming. I'm going to talk a little bit further along the video about my experience gaming with this phone, so don't go anywhere. Now, biometrics. It has a fingerprint reader on the side, which is decent. It's not the most premium, it's not the fastest I've tried, but it gets the job done. It also has a front camera so you can do facial unlock, but I don't recommend you use that on these budget phones because it's not that secure and the tech is pretty simple. I would just stick to the fingerprint reader. Now, one of the most interesting things on this phone is the screen. It's an IPS panel with Full HD resolution, but that's not the best part. It actually has 120 Hz for a refresh rate, which is not common in this price range. But these 120 Hz are not perfect, unless you use them fixed all the time. If you decide to have them on adaptive, well, the processor struggles a bit with this, and it feels kind of laggy when you switch certain applications. So if you're interested in the 120 Hz, I would just leave them fixed all the time. But this is also going to drain your battery a lot quicker. Now, let's talk about the cameras. In the rear, we have 3 modules. The main one is a 50 megapixel, but it's kind of wide, but it's not necessarily an ultra wide. It's 26 millimeters, just so you know. You also have a 2 megapixel depth and macro sensor. And the picture quality you get out of these cameras is pretty decent, but it's actually what you would expect out of a budget phone, so no real surprises there. What did surprise me is actually the build quality, because we have plastic on the back, we do have Gorilla Glass on the front, and we also have an aluminum frame, which is actually pretty good. A couple of more details you should actually know about is that it only has mono sound, it doesn't have stereo sound. The speakers are, again, what you would expect out of a budget phone. And inside the box, you get everything you need to use this phone. You get a 33-watt charger, which is pretty good. You also get a charging cable as well as a plastic case. So you actually don't have to buy any additional accessories. I mean, this phone actually offers you more than any flagship phone out in the market right now. Yeah, I'm talking about the Samsungs and Apples. So, do I recommend the Narzo 50 at this price range? I definitely think it's one of the best options you can find for the price. I mean, you have 120 Hz of a refresh rate in a $226 phone. That is not something you see every day. You also have a 33-watt fast charging. You have expandable storage, decent cameras, a pretty nice screen. I mean, you can play with this phone and have no issues because the processor handles itself quite decent. I mean, you're not going to get the highest FPS on all the games, but at least you're going to be able to play any mobile game at a pretty decent quality. So if you're actually in the market for a budget phone, this Narzo 50 by Realme is actually quite a solid option. If you're interested in buying one, I will put a link down in the description where you can find it. Well, that's the Narzo 50 for you. I hope you liked the video and it was useful. If that's the case, well, consider smashing that like button. It helps us out quite a bit. Also, if you're new around here, consider subscribing right over here. And my name is Jorge. I will see you in the next video.